Ho! Hurting niggas. Because the time they giving out is hurting niggas. Swizz Beatz.
It's good.
Showtime. Thank you, Swizz.
All good, all good.
Swizz, I know you live in LA. Is it that cold out there?
Now I'm just chilling.
Just
I
chilling.
got a hoodie on. I just got my scully on. I'm just on ice.
Okay. I thought you was bundled up, Swizzy.
Nah, I'm just chilling.
You're just chilling. Yo, Swizz, first and foremost, thank you for appearing on Artifacts. I know you're supposed to do it last week, but, you know, whatever. But here you are now, and I just see you just announced the new Verzuz for this Sunday, which is crazy.
Yeah, the healing. You know, I'm in that type of mood. Not really feeling a lot of things going on outside. So, you know, we have a platform, and I think that, you know, it's our job and our duty to, you know, move accordingly.
Right. Was
You
that
know,
was that your idea, or was it Timbaland's, or did you just come up with that like together?
it was both our ideas. We was like, you know, there's no way that we can do, because we had something that we was coming with Saturday, which is amazing as well. But then I was just like, I don't feel that. You know, I
Right.
feel that we need to do something intentional to where people could feel and everybody get a hug with all of the madness that's going on.
Yeah.
And has been going on. This is not a new thing. This is something that's been going on. But we just feel like the people needed a hug, man. That's it, you know?
Right. Absolutely, man. And, you know, music has always been, you know, the soundtrack to our lives and always been there for us during good times and bad times. And you have played a part in that, you know, throughout your legendary career. You've been in the game for over 30 years now. And, you know, what you're doing in Verzuz is celebrating. What I want to do with Artifacts is celebrate the things that you have accumulated throughout the years in your career. And, you know, I know you've had a hand in a lot of things. So I just wanted to see what you got.
Well, I got one thing. It's kind of crazy because, you know, I got my Grammy right here, you know, for Jay-Z on to the next one. And the story behind this Grammy is that I didn't accept it for 8 years.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't accept it for 8 years because at that particular time I felt like I was a slave in the industry. So although I love the song, shout out to the Grammys, shout out to Jay. Me personally, I wasn't really feeling the industry at that particular time. And so that song, when I did it, I really meant on to the next one, you know, because I was mentally on to my next journey outside of music. And that's when people started seeing me do design and, you know, designing watches, cars, and just turning into a serial entrepreneur and diversifying my portfolio, because I just felt like I signed up for something that I've done great by it. I'm not right. I've done great, but once you get past the hype and once you really start to understand the business, then you like, man, like this is a penny paying business. You know what I'm saying? And so, to make a long story short, I left as a slave and I came back as an owner.
Right.
And then I was able to accept this award right here 8 years later.
Wow.
So
was there a moment that made you disenchanted with the business? Because it seems like you never left, or like you've always been involved.
Oh, I left. I've been involved, but I've left. You know, I've left for sure.
Right.
Which gave me my wings, and then it allowed me to come back with love instead of being one of those bitter people inside the industry that don't know how to maneuver and fix the things that they don't love.
Right.
You know, in my mind, I'm like, if I don't like something, how do I change it? We got to start changing what we don't like. You know, and so I changed the climate, and then they called me and reminded me about the Grammy, and then they gave it to me. They did a ceremony with my wife and gave me the Grammy, and I felt good taking it 8 years later.
What were some of those things that you think that changed or wanted to change?
What, in business?
Yeah.
I think the things that I wanted to change was I just wasn't feeling it. You know, I just wasn't feeling it. You understand? I didn't feel like it was I didn't feel like it was worth having me there.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, not the people, the industry.
Right.
Because we get so caught up with accolades and trophies and things like that, but still a lot of the rules from the 50s still applying
Right.
to the industry. You understand? So I had to change that. I didn't even want to blame the label for none of that. To be honest, I blame myself for it. You understand? So a lot of people want to blame this one and blame that one. If I wasn't feeling certain things in the industry, that means that I needed to make a change. And so I took it amongst myself and took the risk, even though if fresh off of winning a Grammy, to depart and go diversify my portfolio, go back to school and sharpen my pencil up on things that I didn't have the information from. Because the only way that people are beating us is from knowledge. I'm in school like, damn, this is simple. This is not hard like that.
Right.
We just don't have those particular pieces of papers in front of us explaining us how to move forward on certain things. You understand?
Cool. So was it like, did you have conversations with Alicia to kind of bring you back into the business and make you want to work again?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, I had a conversation with myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I went and I ventured into the art world as well with no commissions. Found love there, giving millions and millions of dollars back to artists and creatives, and just doing. I'm just at a point where I want to do things that I love. If I can't wake up and love doing what I'm doing, I can't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I worked hard to be able to make those decisions in my early 40s. So I just wanted to change my climate. That's all.
And do you feel like Verzuz is giving you that energy again?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Verzuz brought me back into the music business for sure. I feel like we got a full label jumping right now.
Yeah, it's crazy to say, Swizz. You've had a hell of a career. You still continue to create, but it feels like you're like the hottest you ever. It feels like '98 all over again for you. Is that
a lot of people say that, but it just goes to show you how powerful music is, how powerful the people are, how powerful the culture is as well. You can't never overlook that. Although you can not like certain things, but music is the world healer. Is music.
Right.
Politics ain't healing the world. Not like music heals the world, and that's why this Sunday we named it the healing, because it's music.
Right.
And we're not even doing it on we're just doing it on just a energy vibe.
Right. I'm looking forward to it, Swizz.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else that you got? Because you just moved into this new big ass house over in the West Coast.
Not a big house. The right house.
It's the right house. It looks like the X-Men and the Avengers lived there, man. You kidding me? That place is huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's decent. I'm grateful. We grateful. Yeah, man. I got a couple of things, but I like that one because I actually have the story for it.
Gotcha.
It's not just like a thing. Like there's a story with the Grammy and how I departed music, and then how I came back, as an owner of my life, and then feel like I was in control of my life when I won that Grammy. Although I was excited for a few minutes, I was in the car when they announced that, John. I was mad. I was like, what?
Is that like, where do you rank on to the next one? Like, as far as like your discography goes, there's so many joints.
I like on to the next one. It's definitely top 20.
Top 20. Some people don't have a 20, Swizz.
Yeah, I mean, we talking about 680 songs. It's definitely in my top 20. So you gotta remember, me and Tim battled for 5 hours and still didn't
that was classic.
Get none of the smoke. I mean, we got to some smoke, but like we could have went another 5 hours. We put in a lot of work.
Absolutely.
Thank God for that.
Being that you and Timbaland battled already, and I think you were kind of the clear-cut winner. Do you feel like you have to defend the title at some point?
I think Tim gave me some smoke.
Oh, he gave you some smoke. I felt like you guys both
Tim gave me some smoke. Yeah, I think I do get an advantage because I was in the car. Somebody just wrote that I was battling Tim in the car. We wasn't using no excuses, you know. Let's go to the car. Drove out to the street,
Right.
you know. But that's the fun. Like we gotta keep the spirit and the energy and the celebrations,
Right.
and that's just it, you know.
That's what I love about the verses, because hip hop is rooted in battle. It's always been in the competition. So at the same time, while we're enjoying listening to these, our favorite tracks, we're also going back and doing our homework. We're like, oh, we didn't know about this record, or it's helping artists get more exposure and boost their situations in their catalog. So I love it.
Yeah, I think I got Timbo the first time. I think he got me the second time. Who knows? Maybe we got a third time. We got a couple of things up our sleeve, but there's so many people that people want to see. They've seen us already, you know.
Right.
Even going across this screen, I'm seeing so many.
I see a lot of people
setting up verses for me. You know,
people ask like UGK versus
8Ball
and MJG. Is that gonna happen? Is that a possibility?
I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like those are two of my favorites. You know what I'm saying? So, they getting their list together.
What about, you live with someone who has a hell of a catalog too. Has she wanted to participate in this expedition as well?
Yeah, I mean, this is a curation. Like a lot of people think because you put two names together, the two names might look good together, but the key thing is how do they sound together? Right? Like some people just say two names that those two names look together, but it might not sound right.
Right.
So that's the part of the curation is putting the two people together that sound right.
Right.
Like Dante, Austin, and Neo didn't look like the obvious one to do, but it sounded perfection.
Yeah, that was a great one. That was I didn't know what to expect from that because Jonte isn't necessarily the marquee name, as like Neo, but it worked. And
I see a lot of TLC versus Destiny Child too.
Well, that'll be good. How do you feel about that?
You gotta see the thing is, we gotta look at the list. We got to see the 20, and then so what we do is we go over the 20, and that's how we gonna know what it looked like, because those names do sound good, but then we got to put the 20 and be like, oh, okay, damn, that's crazy. They can go 40,
I saw someone say Alicia versus John Legend. That would be nice as well to see.
I mean, that's obvious.
Right.
That's obvious. You know what I'm saying? That's an obvious one. I like it. But I think that we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Whatever she want to do, I think it's gonna be an epic night when whoever she go with.
Right. Another one that Charlamagne and I were going back and forth. We were talking about Rick Ross possibly getting in the ring with somebody as well, because he has a hell of a catalog as well. So
yeah, I gotta see what's up with Ross. He been a little quiet.
Yeah, we gotta wake him up.
Yeah, he been a little quiet during verses.
You gotta wake him up. And also, before we get out of here, though, Swizz, Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer, that was so epic, man. Like, how did y'all orchestrate that together, man?
Just being a fan of Jamaica myself, understanding that you cannot do a verses without having a sound clash. When you know that two artists going back to back celebrating comes from clashing, that would be a big mistake on my side, especially because I know too much. I know all of the artists in Jamaica. I've been supporting Jamaica for years. Bounty Killer was signed to me in 2001.
Wow.
So I know better, and I knew that Jamaica was going to show up and represent the Caribbean and set it off in a major way. Tim as well, and man, they really shattered the place up. They shattered the place up.
For real, that was an event. Like, just to even have them together in that one setting, as opposed to doing it like how we're doing it on live, it was just a great moment for the culture.
I agree. I mean, from them guys to really have serious beef to be able to push each other around next to each other and celebrate, that was a real blessing to watch. And to see that type of showmanship, because Versus is a celebration, educational platform. Although people like to say the word battle, but we battle enough out here in these streets.
That's a fact.
You understand? But this is a celebration,
Absolutely, man. Well, Swizz, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Just thank you once again for checking in. And hold up that Grammy one more time for the people just to see what one looks like. Woo! That joint pretty. Where do you keep it? Like, is there like a mantle somewhere in the crib?
In my garage in the man cave.
Next to all the other plaques and whatnot, right?
I don't really hang plaques in my house no more. Like I don't. I give away all my plaques to family members and things like that. I used to remember having like plaques just going all through the house.
Yeah.
I don't do that no more. I feel like it just, I don't know. Like I don't feel like I want to see my accomplishments in my face all the time. I want to stay hungry. I want to like keep that hunger going. If I got all of the millions and millions of records sold around me every day, it's going to mentally make me feel like I'm done.
Right.
You know
I
what I'm
think I
saying?
heard Michael Jackson say something similar one time. Like he said, he would never see a plaque in his house because he doesn't want to feel accomplished. Like, look at what I've done already. He wants, like you said, stay hungry.
Well, I seen a plaque in Michael's house. Bless him. It was a little bit before he passed away. Me and my wife went there because this is when he was about to do. Now he's about to do his tour over in the UK.
This is it tour?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we, and so we went and had dinner at his house in LA. And man, his chef had like the best. She made like the best jerk lobster tails. I was like, man, if I could find this lady, man, I think about that jerk lobster tail all the time. But so we sitting there in the living room, and he got the Thriller plaque on the floor, like right over here on the floor.
Wow.
And I'm looking, I'm like, Mike, I said, you just got the Thriller plaque on the floor? He was like, yeah. I mean, it's, you want it?
What?
I said no. I didn't want to be that guy. This is my first time. I know we about to work with him, and I kind of was like, you know what? I get at another time. I get at a later time. Never seen him again.
Swizz, so you mean to tell me Michael Jackson offered you his Thriller plaque and you declined it?
I was being a gentleman. But boy, I wish I wasn't being a gentleman.
Did Alicia give you the look like, nigga, what are you doing?
She know how I am about those things.
Okay.
She know how I am about those things. This is my first time to his house. Like most people trying to come to his house and take things and want things. I didn't want to come off like that with Mike. I knew Mike for a while, but this was the first time I was physically in his home.
Wow.
And I didn't want to take the plaque and like, okay, I felt like I would come back and get it later at another time once we built up what we was working on at that time, because she was supposed to write some songs with him and I was going to produce some things with him. And so I felt like we had time to come back and get the plaque. He looked at healthy, his energy was right. There's no way we thought he wasn't going to be this for sure. So I felt like I had some time, and that's why you never know. Like you gotta tell people you love them. You gotta give people their flowers, which is what we do in Verzuz.
Right.
And I'm just like, the story alone is a gift. I had it. At least he offered it to me. That was just as good as giving it to me.
Word. That's crazy. I never heard that before too. So that's an exclusive right there.
Yeah, I never told that story.
Word. Well, Swizz, man, thank you, man. I won't take up too much of your time, and we'll be tuned in this Sunday.
Yes.
Fred Hammond, Kirk Franklin. We can get it popping.
Opening words by T.D. Jakes. Inspirational words by T.D. Jakes.
Yo, man, you are the new Don King, like Golden Boys. They out of the way, man. It's all about Swizz and Timbo and Verzuz.
Nah, we just being creative and just using our platform and our voice and our strength to uplift others, and that's what we really having a fun time doing.
And that's what hip hop has been doing for the last 40 years.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, King.
I'll see you soon. See you in the DMs, Swizz.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Bless up.
Peace.